Not, no, it might not be
But
as
also-
crazy as we are.
It makes it. And what I found is that regardless of who you are and what experience you have, you will always have a sense of imposter syndrome.
Set up as a limited company, or are you a sole trader? So you set up as a limited company.
Yeah. I think it's going okay. So I suppose because obviously there's a lot of changes coming with employment law.
What changes are being discussed at the moment then? What's a maybe? Hello everybody and welcome to Fishers on the Case. This is the podcast where we talk to legal professionals, business owners and industry experts about their lives and careers. My name is Amanda Payne. I'm the host of Fishers on the Case and CEO of Fishers Solicitors based in Ashby, Derby and Tamworth. So Karen, welcome. Thank you very much for joining me today. So where are you from?
Well, thank you for having me. I live just outside Tamworth, but originally grew up in Lichfield.
Okay.
So yeah, Midlands born and bred.
A local girl, very good. So your business now, what is that?
So KR4HR, it's HR consultancy, and I'm also a senior leadership coach as well.
Oh, right, okay.
So I've been in HR for probably about 20 years. Decided it was time to go out on my own. Lots of experience, lots of knowledge, and I thought, well, it makes sense to continue in that vein. And 3 years ago, I decided to retrain as a coach. There's a lot of transferable skills between coaching and HR.
Okay.
And so it made sense because really I was coaching anyway, just didn't have the necessary education, qualifications, accreditations to go with it.
Okay.
So now from a HR perspective, I can deal with businesses who are looking for sort of day-to-day absence management, disciplinary grievances, contracts, policies, procedures. I also, and this is my passion really, is to do the project work. So it may be an engagement survey with follow-on actions. It may be implementation of a system. It could be an assortment of things really. And then I do help them with the strategy as well. So when they've got a 3 to 5 year plan, they know what they want to do with the business, I can come in and make sure that the people are taken along for the ride as well.
Okay, brilliant.
So
that's a good introduction to everything that you do. Fantastic. I want to start back in the early days. So when you were leaving school, 16, doing your exams, what did you want to do back then? Was it anything HR related? No. Often isn't it?
No. So
what was your dream?
16. Oh, I think that's a long time ago. I wanted to be either a solicitor or a doctor.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think that was born out of watching Casualty and LA Law, to be honest. I did a year of A-levels, but it wasn't for me.
Okay.
So I thought I'd try something different. So I actually ended up doing media and cultural studies.
At college?
At college.
Okay.
Went off to university to do the same.
Brilliant. So
degree in media and cultural studies. Never used it, but I've got a degree. And that
what did you do straight out of university then?
I'd always worked behind bars, which I really did enjoy because I'm quite a people person anyway.
Yes.
And then what did I do? I sold houses for a bit.
So I worked in an estate agent?
Well, no, it was new build.
Oh, right, on site?
Yeah. So
what developers did you work with?
I worked for King's Oak Homes, which I don't think are going anymore. I think they were dissolved, if you like, back into Barratt Homes.
Oh, okay.
And I was there for about 18 months. And then I got put on a site where I saw nobody.
Oh, really?
And I just
no one wanted to buy there?
No.
Oh, that was sad.
I know. And it was in the middle of nowhere. Oh. And I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. So I then ended up working in recruitment, which I learned a lot from the recruitment perspective, which obviously I then have used later on in my career. But for me, it was far too sales driven. And I just felt that people were just numbers and nothing more.
Really?
And then they closed the office, so I got made redundant.
Right.
And I took a temp job in a factory on reception. And within, I think it was about a month or so, I was made permanent. And then the HR administrator handed a notice in. And they said, well, do you want to give it a go? And I thought, well, I don't know what else I'm going to do with myself. So I thought,
so it was almost by fate then that you fell into it, wasn't it?
I think a lot of HR people fall into HR, to be honest. And so, and that was like nearly 20 years ago. And I just...
It's grown from there.
Yeah, did my qualification and...
Yeah.
Off I went.
Very good. So I do know that your business has just celebrated yesterday its first anniversary.
Yes.
So what was that like, setting up your own business from scratch? How's that been? What sort of steps have you gone through?
It's quite daunting, because I think sometimes you think to yourself, what have I done? But I think at the time it was very much my circumstances at home changed. My husband got a job where he was away during the week. My daughter just started secondary school, which meant I didn't have a childminder anymore. I've got 2 dogs as well, so I needed to be at home more. The business I was working for at the time wasn't the best, shall we say. And so I thought, you know what, if I don't do it now, I probably never will. I'm quite lucky in the fact that I've made sort of contacts as I've gone through my career anyway, and so some of them have helped me out and sort of made referrals for me.
Have you set up as a limited company, or are you a sole trader? So you set up as a limited company.
Yeah.
And did you have help from a lawyer or accountant to do that, or did you do it yourself on company's house?
I did it on my own.
Okay.
On company's house.
Yeah.
I have got an accountant, so he sort of points me in directions.
Yeah.
I think it's going okay. I've not been told otherwise. I'm making money, which is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's the flexibility, the freedom. I get to choose, you know, who I work for. I love going to networking events. I'm very much a people person. So it's nice that I can just go out and meet people. And I think you learn quite early on, networking isn't about selling really. It's about making the connections and building the relationships. And then, you know, business might come from that later on. But for me, it can get quite lonely when you're working on your own at home. I've got 2 dogs, but they don't really answer back. So it's nice to be able to just go out and meet people, even if you've got absolutely nothing in common work-wise, but they're just generally nice people and you get on really
well. I know you've been to our Ashby Connect events, haven't you? Have you met people that have given you business through that yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I have. It was interesting actually, because when I walked in, there was probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 people that I actually already knew. That I've met at other events, so that was nice. And then there was other people who works with people that I've met at other events as well. So it was nice that we had something in common.
Yes.
And then you know, it's nice to be able to meet new people that you have never met before and find out who they are, what they're about.
Yeah, and how you might be able to help each other.
Well,
one day.
So very much so.
So who's influenced you then during your career? Is any friends or family? Who have you taken aspiration from?
It's hard to say. I mean, 18 months ago, if you'd said to me I'd be running my own business, I would have said no, never. My dad used to have his own business when I was younger. I do remember that. Other than that, I don't really know anybody, apart from the people who I've met in the last 12 months, I don't really know anybody who has got their own business.
Been self-driven then to take
I think, yes, I have. Yeah, because I think when you realise what your personal values are and you realise that they don't align with certain other things in your life, then you realise, actually, do you know what, I need those to align, because otherwise I'm not going to be happy. And like I said, you know, it was a decision made based on my family as well, and it's just. Yeah, like I said, 18 months ago, I would have said, nah, there's no chance.
Here you are. Yeah, fantastic. And what about, what do you do in your spare time to relax and to wind down and to step away from business? If you work from home, is that quite difficult to separate the two sometimes and have time out?
Yes and no. I've got an office.
Oh, have you?
So I don't shut the door and that's it.
Okay.
But then there are times on, say, like a Sunday afternoon, if I'm thinking, I don't really know what I want to do, I'll just go and do a bit of work. But that's because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've got 2 dogs, 2 German Shepherds. They need a lot of exercise.
So a lot of walking.
A lot of walking. I'm lucky because we live in a village, which means that there's lots of fields and public footpaths and stuff. Let them off the lead, and you know, we can walk for miles. I like boxing as well, which is quite different.
Okay. Not like kickboxing, like an exercise boxing.
No, it's actually just boxing.
Literally boxing.
Yeah, it is run by a kickboxing gym.
Okay.
But I haven't done the kickboxing side, just normal boxing. But it's really good to keep you fit, and I actually really do enjoy it. And you come out, and they work you hard, but it's very just come out absolutely buzzing.
Yeah,
That's
the
the best way.
adrenaline.
Yeah,
after the,
yeah,
after the
definitely.
class or whatever. Yeah.
Reading. So, I mean, I read a lot about coaching and psychology and the way that our brains work. I find that absolutely fascinating.
Okay.
But I quite like a lot of fantasy books like Terry Pratchett and things like that. And then music. Absolutely love music. A massive rock fan. And so yeah, I wouldn't be lost at like a Bon Jovi or an AC/DC concert. To be honest,
they're going to tour next year.
I know. Yes, and Def Leppard are.
Oh, are they?
I can't go to all of them, but I've seen both of them in concert about 5 or 6 times.
Oh, have you? Yeah, definite fan. Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the coaching side. Okay. So, what sort of coaching can you offer? What do you have any specialisms?
So. Sorry.
I was just going to say, are there different specialisms? Because I know what coaching is, obviously, but I imagine it could be quite specialised depending on what the need is.
So when you do your qualification, they do say it's always a good idea to niche. Some people do, some people don't.
Okay.
And I struggled for a while, mainly because I just didn't know. But then I thought, well, why reinvent the wheel? I've always worked with senior leadership teams and with boards. So it makes sense.
Management level. Yeah.
So it makes sense to speak to and help and support these senior leaders of businesses. Now, whether that's somebody who's, on the board of, I don't know, a large corporate business, or whether it's a small SME who's got 5 people working for them, they're still leading a business. And what I found is that regardless of who you are and what experience you have, you will always have a sense of imposter syndrome or low confidence about something. So I can help and support people to look at what those blocks are and help them with their transformation. And I've got there's 3 aspects really. So there's the confidence, then there's the clarity aspect, which I think sometimes when you're running a business, you can get quite overwhelmed because there's just so many things that you're thinking about. You want to think about what's going on day to day. You want to think about the future, all the things that are in between. And of course, the bigger the business, the more there is to think about. So sometimes it's just nice to be able to sit down with someone and chunk it all down, put it into small pots so that it's not so overwhelming, so that you can work on it. But you just need that person to sort of not guide or steer, but more sort of support you into your own direction, because it's not mentoring, it's or telling you what you should be doing. And then the last one is really about accountability. So with accountability, we're all really good at coming up with plans, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. What we're not good at, and this is a natural human thing, is holding ourselves accountable for it. And I was going to do it for the end of today, but it can wait until tomorrow now. But when you have somebody who's saying, right, okay, we've got this emotion, I'm going to phone you next week and I want you to tell me exactly where you've got to, and holding you accountable, you're more likely to want to get whatever it is done.
Okay.
So the confidence, the clarity and the accountability, really. That's
high level sort of business owner.
Yeah.
Targets. So I know you've only recently become a business owner and looking after your own business. Have you found yet what your biggest headache is for yourself? You haven't come across anything yet that's too daunting?
No, well, I think, and a lot of HR consultants I think will say this, is when you go into a business and they're like, they want to dismiss somebody because they don't like them.
Oh no.
And yeah, unfortunately. And so it's explaining to them, well, that's not actually a reason, and you have to go through, various stages, and there's a process that we have to go through, and this is what happens if we don't go through the process. 9 times out of 10, once you've explained it to them, they seem okay.
But that's an initial challenge then, to get them to rethink.
And also, I suppose, because obviously there's a lot of changes coming with employment law, although we're not 100% sure exactly what it is yet, because it keeps going backwards and forwards. When you say to people, well, this may be happening, you're trying to get people to be proactive. Sometimes
get ahead of the game.
Yeah. Sometimes they only worry about it when it comes in. When it comes in.
What changes are being discussed at the moment then? What's a maybe?
So it's the day one employee rights,
Okay,
so
yes.
unfair dismissal, statutory sick pay, changes to trade union recognition. What else is there? There's lots. It's the whole employee rights bill. I mean, it's going to be over a period of about 2 years.
That they would bring it in bit
That
by
they'll bring
bit.
it in. Changes usually about every 6 months, but it's really going to make such a difference. So, for example, at the moment, you don't have full employee rights unless it's something like discrimination for 2 years. That gives businesses enough time to be able to identify if the people that they've picked through their recruitment and selection process are right for them, if they're fitted in and they understand what they need to be doing. Now we've got now they're looking at doing day one rights. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for companies to part ways with people who perhaps aren't performing.
Would you still have a probationary period with this day one rights, or is that?
That's what they're talking about.
Okay, so that would still exist then?
Possibly. I think it needs to. It will depend. I mean, I don't obviously know what's going to happen between now and when this is broadcast, but what I would advise clients to do now is make sure that you are looking at your recruitment processes and that that's really robust. It might be that they need to actually understand how to interview properly. You need to be looking at your probation reviews, your contracts, your policies, making sure that they're all fully robust. Also training for line managers, that's a really big thing, particularly around having difficult conversations, discrimination, all those things, which if the employee rights comes in from day one, means A, you're getting the best talent and the best people into your business, and B, if there is a problem, then it can be dealt with properly and professionally, which hopefully means that then there aren't any repercussions later on down the line. And I do fear for an already overwhelmed tribunal system, because I think I don't really know what's going to happen with that. I think it will implode, but I don't know.
So you can help people if that's happens in their workplace, and you can hold their hands and talk them through the process. And scary times, aren't they? So you've known Fishers a little while. Are you able to give me 3 words that describe Fishers?
I think the first thing is about the networking.
Okay.
Because that's what I know. That's how you sort of come onto my radar, if you like.
Yes.
You're local as well, which I think that gives the sense of community, and that's something that's important. I think people want to be able to trust the people that they go to for legal matters, regardless of whatever it may be. And 3, there you go, podcast.
We now do podcasts.
Yeah, now we do podcasts. Yeah.
So I've asked you quite a few questions today. So turning the tables on me, is there anything that you'd like to ask me? Or ask about Fishers? Something you're not sure of? I
think really it's just I'm always interested to know sort of how the podcast came around, and where that idea came from. And
it was a collective idea between a few of us. We just thought it was a step forward with our sort of social media and marketing campaigns, and we want to promote Ashby and promote local people in Ashby, talk to clients and people who recommend us, and give them an opportunity to showcase what they do, and then we can all share it. So we don't know yet if a lot of people are going to like listening to a legal podcast, but it's not traditionally just about the law. It's about people and about their lives and their journeys, and hopefully we can teach people things and they can take away some top tips and some interesting information that will help them in their journeys and in their careers. So to talk about law can be a bit boring and a bit dry, so we had to think of something where it would hopefully interest people and people would learn, and then hopefully engage with us going forward, and with our guests as well.
I think it's a great idea, because there aren't that many solicitors firms that will do that.
Possibly not. No, it might not be as crazy as we are.
It makes that's a good thing. Crazy is a good thing. But it means that, in my mind anyway, if you're doing stuff like this, something that's a little bit new, you're appealing to different generations, different audiences, but also a bit like I was saying earlier about the community, and you're approachable, and if someone says something the name Fishers will be in the back of their mind.
Yeah. No, we love Ashby. It's our, our roots are here. So although we've got, little danglings in other towns and cities, Ashby's always our base. Always. Yeah, we love Ashby. So if people want to contact you then after today and listening and seeing us, how can they, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So I've got a website.
Okay.
Which is kr4hr.com.
Yes.
And it's a number 4, not the word 4, number 4. So kr4hr.com. And you can get me on email, karen@kr4hr.com. And I'm on LinkedIn as well under Karen Robinson.
Okay, I'll just find you.
And you'll find me on there.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure meeting you and finding out a bit more about K4HR.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.